On a fine Monday morning, this primary school teacher walks into the classroom. The class was full of 8 and 9-year-old children. And the teacher stood in front and asked the children, "If any of you consider yourself stupid, please stand up." There was a silence. After about 30 seconds, little Johnny at the corner stood up. And the teacher asked, "Johnny, do you think that you are stupid?" Johnny, with a shy smile, said, "No, ma'am. I felt so sorry to see you standing alone." Sometimes we recognize our own stupidity quite late, As Father said in the beginning, this is ISC Mass. We should be celebrating it tomorrow, where the feast of the archangels. But today, ISC decided to share the spiritual part of the celebration with the Tangasa fraternity. And tomorrow it is going to be the worldly party, the whole day party, and all of you are invited. So, the theme that we are reflecting today is journalism and environment. There is so much that is spoken about environment, the climate change, and we are experiencing this every day. Huge rains and floods, excessive heat, damages, natural calamities, everything. And I'm talking to my ISC students. What are we doing about it? We have the power of the camera and the microphone, the pen and the social media. What are we doing about it? Because the big leaders and the politicians, they have big climate conference. We had it other day in Nairobi. But those who make the change are not them. It is the Mama Mboga, the people on the ground, the villager, the one who looks after the cows and the chicken. We need to create awareness among them of this need. And often they are ignorant. That is our responsibility. Pope Francis has spoken so many times about the need of caring for this natural environment, caring for the creation. In his first encyclical called Laudato Si, focuses on the care of a natural environment and of all people, as well as broader questions of relationship between God, human. The earth is crying out. We are feeling it. The natural calamities, the destruction, the environmental degradation, all this is the ways in which the earth is manifesting, that it is being overwhelmed. And finally, Pope Francis calls us to conversion. Conversion of our attitudes, conversion of our outlook, conversion of our own lifestyle. We have heard the nature. We have heard the creation. And we are going through, what we are going through is the result of the careless treatment of our environment. John Paul II, during his pontificate, he said, destruction or damage done to the nature, God's creation, is sin. Sin against nature at that time. And creation is the extension of God's body. God extends himself to us through the creation. And when we damage the environment, we are damaging God himself. The environment does not mean just the trees and the plants and the mountains and the hills, but it is the environment in which we live. We all are placed in a certain environment. We here in Tangasa, in the classroom, in a certain environment, the places where we meet, everything is an environment in which we live and we grow and we connect with each other. And we need to care for that environment. not only for the plants and the trees, but for environment, the world that is all inclusive. Everyone, everything is part of that. Every person, especially the less fortunate, the physically and mentally challenged, everything that is within that environment is our responsibility to care for it. We cannot ask the question Cain asked God when God confronted Cain after he killed Abel. He asked, "Where is your brother?" And Cain responded, "Am I my brother's keeper?" We are our brothers and sisters' keeper. We are responsible for one another. We are not strangers. We are part of that one whole. And this calls for inclusiveness. What is inclusiveness? Everyone is part of that creation. And we are responsible for each other. Everything that God has created, we cannot neglect anything or anyone. When we talk about this inclusiveness, Pope Francis wrote another encyclical that came much later, titled Fratelli Tutti. I'm sure the religious know about it. Through this encyclical, Pope is asking us to turn away from this throwaway culture, the culture of indifference, and instead to embrace the culture of encounter, capable of transcending our differences and divisions. Very powerful words. Capable of transcending our indifferences and divisions. Indifferences and divisions caused by religion, caused by our tribal backgrounds and nationalities, the place where we come from. Pope is inviting us to transcend. We are bigger than all those things. We as people, we are bigger than all those that divides us. What unites us is much stronger. And he says a culture where everyone is included and no one is expendable. Pope Francis. Journalists use the power of the media to create that awareness. Awareness of the inclusiveness. Where it is neglected, they are to raise the voice and create that awareness among the people. I have always told my students that a journalist is a defender or the guardian of freedom, truth, and democracy. That is what a journalist is meant to be. I hope you are aware, a single group of people, professionals, who are targeted or killed by the powerful, the tyrants, the people who hold power, and whom the politicians hate, are the journalists. They don't like them because they expose corruption. They tell the truth. Let's come back to today's gospel. Herod heard about John the Baptist. He was uneasy. Herod is worried and scared because he heard the name John the Baptist. He said, "I killed him. What are you talking about? Where is he?" He was scared because John the Baptist challenged Herod. He challenged his lifestyle. He challenged everyone who were on the wrong side of what they are supposed to live. He challenged the scribes, the Pharisees, the authorities who persecuted, who did not take care of the needy. And the result, they killed him. He spoke the truth, defended the truth, and they killed him. He was not afraid to die. He died for the truth. So I think I'll be right if I say John the Baptist was the first journalist who stood for the truth, who died for the truth. And let him be our model. I'm telling my young journalists, let him be our model. And what do we take from today's celebration in this theme that we are reflecting on today? I like to leave with 3 points. Fight for inclusiveness. Fight for inclusiveness. Everybody is part of that. Defend creation and the natural environment. And thirdly, use the power of the media to highlight where the above two are neglected. That is what we are celebrating today. Journalism and environment.